Do you know the story of the Tower of Babel? Most children who've attended Sunday school classes can tell you what happened at the Tower of Babel. King Nimrod wanted to be famous, so he convinced the people of Babylon to build a great tower that would reach heaven. In 2023, humanity still has not completed this quest, and with that, the will to do the impossible. Build a tower as high as the heaven. Jeddah Tower, also known as the Kingdom Tower, was supposed to be the tallest building, superseding the 828 meters (2,717 feet) Burj Khalifa in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. But construction was abandoned in 2018, and the tower has been sitting unfinished ever since. So what happened? In this video, we'll take a look at the history of the Jeddah Tower and try to figure out why construction was stopped. We'll also give you an update on the tower's status in 2023. The skyscraper will be part of the large-scale Kingdom City development located along the Red Sea on the north side of Jeddah. The tower was designed by American architect Adrian Smith of Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, whose firm designed the Burj Khalifa and the Willis Tower. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, work on the Jeddah Tower in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, which will soon be the tallest building in the world, had been put off again in 2020 and 2021. This landmark building has been under construction for 7 years and counting, and it's not clear when it will finally reach the top. The building will be at least 3,280 feet tall when it's done. It was designed by Chicago's Adrian Smith plus Gordon Gill Architecture. It is part of a larger project called Jeddah Economic City, and it will be the first building in the world to reach a height of 1 kilometer. The original plan was for it to be 1 mile high, 1.6 kilometers, but the geology of the area made that impossible. The project has a good track record. Like the Burj Khalifa, no one knows how tall the project will be when it's done. This reminds me of the height wars that happened in New York City 100 years ago, when the top of the Chrysler Building was kept secret until its grand opening, so that it would be taller than the Manhattan Trust Building. Height wars aside, we've gathered some top pieces of trivia that illustrate why Jeddah Tower will be truly awe-inspiring once it is finally complete, and more than just a big building. The structure, formerly known as the Kingdom Tower, will be home to the world's highest observatory. It will also have a separate, 98-foot diameter outdoor balcony, which was originally intended to be a helipad. The building is so big, they are unable to show it realistically in one rendering. Only elevations and bird's-eye views can contain the entire project. Imagine those construction drawings. The foundation piles are about as large as a small room at 10 feet in diameter and can reach up to 360 feet in length. Its shape is functional. The narrowing silhouette has to fight wind as well as gravity, so the three-sided shard is designed to be aerodynamic. The taper also helps maximize usable rentable area. It offsets the large core size on the lower floors by widening the base, while the shape also narrows the core overall, making it less space-consuming at the top. Its form is interesting for a tower of its size. The 3-petal plan allows separate extrusions to nudge against one another, while the profile is inspired by folded fronds of young desert plant growth. Gill-like indentations add another scale of visual intrigue. Also, the tower is on a plinth. But joking aside, the building does meet the ground in a nuanced, thoughtful way. Transportation routes crisscross around it, and the plinth melds it with its urban surroundings. Jeddah Tower will have 59 elevators and 12 escalators, and 5 of these elevators will be double-decker. The lifts will not reach the speeds of normal elevators, as the change in air pressure at those altitudes would cause nausea. 3 sky lobbies will prevent any one elevator from having to go all the way to the top, eliminating the need for excessively huge cables. It also provides high-tech features. A high-performance exterior wall system, including low-conductivity glass, will minimize energy consumption by reducing thermal loads. There are super-cool patios all along its 3 sides. Each side features a series of shaded notches, where outdoor terraces offer extreme views of Jeddah and the Red Sea. The massive structure will contain 80,000 tons of steel. Parts of the core will contain several concrete meters thick. When work on the Jeddah Tower first started in 2007, it was called the Mile High Tower. Then it was called the Kingdom Tower, and in 2015, it got its current name. It was clear that Saudi Arabia wanted to beat its rival in the Middle East, the United Arab Emirates, so construction on the site started in 2013. The building is supposed to be at least 1 kilometer tall, which means that if it is ever finished, it will be much bigger than the Burj Khalifa. No one knows when the project will be done, but experts say it won't be done before 2026. In 2018, the project stopped moving forward because of labor problems with the contractor. The building was supposed to be done by 2021, but it is at least 4 years behind schedule now. People aren't sure if the building will ever be finished or if it will be torn down. There are many problems with building skyscrapers this high, and the people who work on them often have to throw away everything they know about building and try something new. Some solutions, like concrete sealants that fix cracks in walls, need to be changed for heavy-duty projects on smaller buildings. That kind of product might work for brickwork and do-it-yourself projects on the ground, but it won't do much for a gigantic needle that sticks way up into the Earth's atmosphere. On buildings like the Jeddah Tower, architects and contractors are always facing new difficulties and challenges, and it's often a puzzle to figure out how to solve them. For example, vertical transportation has its limits because the building moves when the wind blows. There is also the issue of super column settling. Because concrete shrinks when it gets wet, this can cause floors to become uneven. Since no one has ever built a building this big before, it's hard to say if the people behind the Jeddah Tower will be able to get past all the problems they'll face. What other big buildings are in the works? Architects all over the world are working on projects that are the same size or even bigger than the Burj Khalifa. Merdeka 188 is a building in Kuala Lumpur that will open in 2023 and is 678.9 meters tall. When it does, it will be the second tallest building in the world, taller than the Shanghai Tower, which is 632 meters high. There are also plenty of ideas that have been thought of, but aren't yet being built. One idea that came up in 1995 was the Exceed 4000. It would be 4 kilometers tall and house as many as 1 million people in Tokyo. The Dubai City Tower is another project that has been talked about. It was first thought of in 2008, and if it were built, it would be 2.4 kilometers tall. Everything about the Jeddah Tower is uncertain right now, except for the tower itself. It's hard to say when it will be done, but it would be sad if it were to stop. That doesn't seem likely, since the people who made it want to break records. Once completed, the Jeddah Tower is expected to become a major tourist attraction, drawing visitors from around the world to experience the views from its observation decks. The tower is also expected to play a key role in the development of Jeddah as a business and financial center. In conclusion, the Jeddah Tower is an ambitious project that aims to position Jeddah as a major economic center and global city. Despite the challenges and delays faced during its construction, it is expected to be an iconic landmark when completed, not just for Jeddah, but for the entire world.